Hello, grumpy old fart here. Um, this is one of my favorite topics. Um, this is I first heard about this. Uh, there was a researcher named Lloyd Pye. He died just a few years ago, but he went to his grave believing that this skull was not exactly human. Let me go into some detail and set it up for you and give you some context. And before I forget, Lloyd Pye has a number of videos on YouTube called "Everything You Know Is Wrong" and "The Starchild," and he's got some others as well. But those are the two main ones if you want to find out more about this particular topic. And he has some interesting ideas on some other topics as well. But let's get back to the crux of this. In the 1930s, there was a young Mexican American girl, and she was visiting some relatives in Mexico. I'm going to give you the abridged version because he goes into a long, involved thing. Anyway, she found this skull in an old cave. And through a series of events, it came into the possession of Lloyd Pye in 1999. And this skull is unlike any other skull I have ever seen. If you look at it, the eyes are wrong, the ears are wrong, the shape of the skull is wrong. It doesn't look human. Um, there are 25 major physical differences, and I'm gonna list some of them here. I'm not gonna list them all, but I'm gonna list some of them. The eye sockets are wrong. They're too shallow and they're the wrong shape. The shape of the skull is wrong. It's missing the inion bone. Instead of this bone on the back of your skull here where the neck meets the skull, there's a knot. You can go reach back and feel it yourself that you've got a knot back there. Everybody does. On this one, there's not a knot. There's an actual little indentation. Um, the jaws are too big. The neck is about half the size. The balance point of the skull is different. The chewing muscles, you can tell by the indentions in the skull about the chewing muscles are about twice the chewing muscles are half the size. Excuse me. This thing has no sinuses, none. The inner ears are twice the size. The skull bone material is half as thick and weighs half as much, but is 2 to 3 times harder to cut. There are unknown fibers embedded in the bone matrix. And by the way, these unknown bone fibers, nowhere else on Earth is there another creature that has these. This is not normal for a human being. Mainstream science keeps claiming that nature can do anything. But there was a geneticist that found some non-human DNA. Mainstream science claims that the tests were rigged. Every time they'll test something and it'll come out odd, like an anomaly of some kind, the mainstream science says, well, it was faked, or that's just a mutant or whatever. They'll find some reason to explain it as anything but non-human. It's a human, it's just something wrong with it. It's a human, but this is, he ate too much cabbage or whatever. They'll find some reason. This Starchild skull, the video I saw, by the way, one of the really good videos is called Starchild Skull Disclosures Smoking Gun. Starchild Skull Disclosures Smoking Gun. The smoking gun of the Disclosure Project. And one of the things that I found interesting is when you look at the DNA of every primate on this planet, they're all very, very similar, but there's differences. There is a series of base pairs in a segment of the human DNA that does not change in any of the haploids. All right, there's a section of DNA with every primate on the earth, and if you look at the numbers, they're all exactly the same. In every primate on this planet, they're all exactly the same. You've got DNA that runs all like this, and then you take this one little section, and every primate, these numbers are exactly identical. Okay? The Starchild skull, the DNA from this skull has 17 variations in that same segment. So while every other primate they're all exactly the same, this Starchild skull has 17 variations in that segment. Okay. This skull is clearly not human. If it's got some human traits in it, it's not completely human. Maybe one of the parents were human, something, you know. But if you look at this skull from the point of view of just on flat appearance, it doesn't look human. In my opinion, it looks like one of those little gray aliens or one of the other aliens. This comes from a furtive imagination, so, you know, a fertile imagination. Look at it for yourself, and you'll see what I mean. It doesn't look human. That if that's a human being, I don't know how it lives so long. You see what I'm saying? But again, check these out for yourself. Everything You Know Is Wrong, and the Starchild, and then Starchild Skull, Disclosures, Smoking Gun. Those 3 videos, check those out. You'll see what I'm talking about. Lloyd Pye makes an excellent argument for this. And I keep telling you in these other videos, every time mainstream science says they know something, you got to take a step back, because, you know, they keep proving themselves wrong. They keep getting proven wrong over and over and over. Well, now they're saying for sure this skull is human. It's just, there's just a few things wrong with it, a few anomalies. Maybe it had some diseases or whatever. Well, guess what? I think they're going to be proven wrong ultimately on this one as well. You folks have a good day. God bless one and all.